Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Khurram Shehzad. I am from National University of Modern Languages. I teach in the Department of English at NUML. Students have asked me that I should make a video on how to get admission at National University of Modern Languages and its various campuses all over Pakistan. So this video is specifically made for BS English students. Remember, NUML cannot give admission to all the students. Of course, thousands of students apply for admission, but we have got limited number of seats, so we cannot offer admission to all the students. But for this, you will have to work very hard. The things that we are going to ask from you, they will be from the syllabus that you have already covered at FA or FSC level in your respective boards. So there will be three questions that we are going to ask you. But before I talk about those three questions, let me share one of the previous papers which is also shared on the website of NUML and how you are going to attempt the questions which are given in the question paper. So this is the paper where you are supposed to write the registration number and your name. Remember, your registration number is asked, okay? And you should make it sure that the invigilator puts his or her signature on this sheet. This question, it carries 75 marks in total. So there will be 75 marks and overall three questions. All questions carry 25 marks. But sometimes when the teachers, they are making the paper, they make certain changes in the division of the marks. So for example, here the first question is of 21 marks, but usually it is of 25 marks. And then question number 2 will also be of 25 marks. And question number 3 will also be of 25 marks. Usually, question number 1 is about comprehension. Now you should remember that you have already studied various books of English at your FA or FSC level. So it means that we have already assumed that you have got certain knowledge about English language, about its vocabulary, about its grammar. So here there is one paragraph which is shared with the student, but usually there are 2 or 3 paragraphs. So you are supposed to go through those paragraphs. Remember, don't panic. Go through the paragraphs carefully. Give them a slow reading and underline the difficult words which you are unable to understand. Try to understand the meaning of those words by looking at the context. Context here I mean that the words or the sentences which are coming before that word or before after that word or sentence. So you need to comprehend, you need to understand those paragraphs. Of course, those paragraphs will be about one particular topic, and all the other sentences which the author has written, they will be talking about the same specific particular topic. So you need to understand them. Therefore, at least 3 times you should go through the paragraph, or if there are multiple paragraphs, so you should go through all of them at least 3 times. Make short notes on the margin, okay? And then try to understand the meanings of those words which are difficult for you. Then go through the questions. Questions will also give you the idea that what the author is asking or what the teacher has asked. So whatever the teacher is asking, of course, it means that the paragraph is about that particular topic. It could be about cleanliness. It could be about opera. It could be about a cricket match. It could be about a scientific invention. So you need to be careful. You need to go through the questions one by one to understand that what kind of questions have been asked. And then make sure that you are not going to copy the answers from the paragraph which are written over there. Answers must be in your own words. Understand the paragraph or the paragraphs which are there. Try to understand the meaning of those words, of those sentences, of those paragraphs, and one by one, write down the answers of those questions in your own words. Again, I say, in your own words. If you are going to copy the answers from the paragraph, teachers are not going to give you the marks. So, for good kind of writing, you should have very good knowledge of English grammar. So you should know that how tenses they are used, how sentences they are produced. So relevant and to the point answer you should write in your own words. Is that okay? Next. Usually one of the questions is that summarize the whole paragraph. Again, in summary writing, it is one third of the paragraph. If there are three paragraphs, so and they are of 500 words, so you should produce the summary in just 150 words. So summary means summary, and again it should be coming out in your own language, in your own words. So whatever you have understood from the paragraph, write it down. Then first question will be attempted. Now look at question number 2. This question is based on your grammar knowledge, that how much expert you are in grammar. So the question is do as directed. Usually it has got 3 or 4 different parts, and you can see that it carries 30 marks. So the 30 marks, so maybe there will be 4 questions under this heading do as directed. You can be asked for narration, direct and indirect speech. You can be asked for active or passive voice. You can be asked questions from phrasal verbs. You can be asked questions from idioms. And usually we ask questions from parts of speech. And sometimes you are asked that you are supposed to correct the following sentences. Now here, question number 2, do as directed. It is saying people dash the earth was flat until Aristotle dash it was not. It was not is a clue here. It is telling us that something is written in the past tense. So it was not. Keep this thing in your mind. It means that the fill in the blanks, they are demanding that you should produce something in the past tense. Options are given: believed, was proving, had believed, proved, had believed, would prove, have believed, proved. So D option is taken out because this is in present tense. So you are not supposed to use this tense. People dash the earth was flat. People believed the earth was flat until Aristotle was proved it was not. Was proving it was not. No, it is not the right option. Until Aristotle was proving. No. People had believed the earth was flat until Aristotle proved that it was not. So second option is the correct option. Why? Because you know that usually when past perfect tense is used and two actions are happening at the same time, so one action is discussed in past perfect tense because it happened before that action, and the second action is discussed in past simple tense. So option B is the correct option. Next question is choose the appropriate options to complete the sentences in passive or active form. So again, you will have to see whether you are supposed to use active voice here or passive voice. But first, read the sentence carefully. Camera footage shows that the illegal goods dashed into the warehouse last week. Camera footage shows that. So it means that shows that present simple tense is used. Do not go in the past. At least you should remain in the present tense. Now options are being smuggled, smuggled, are smuggled, were smuggled. Were smuggled is deleted. because it is in past tense and past tense is not required. Now three options are left. Smuggled is in active voice, are being smuggled is in passive voice, and are smuggled again in passive voice. Camera footage shows that illegal goods are being smuggled into the. No, I did not look at the word last week. So last week is telling that it is in past tense. So all the first three options right now, they are to be deleted. Even B option, smuggled, it is in active voice. If I say goods smuggled into the warehouse, it means goods themselves smuggled, which is not possible. Agent is required. So camera footage shows that illegal goods were smuggled into the warehouse last week. This is the correct option. So last week, it is a clue that past tense is to be used here. Then I can discuss some of the other options with you. New methods of dating ancient footprints show that the first Americans dash they are at least 25,000 years earlier than thought. 25,000 years earlier. We will have to read this sentence carefully. We have got options: must be settled, should be settled, can settle, or may have settled. New methods of dating ancient footprints show is in present tense, that the first Americans must be settled there at least 25 years earlier than thought. Now option A or option D, they are the appropriate options. Must be settled or may have settled, because we are making a conjecture, guess. So must is used for guess. When you are sure about something, must is used. And when you are not sure about something, may is used. Okay. So new methods of dating ancient footprints show that the first Americans may have settled at least 25 years earlier than thought. So option D is the correct answer. Now look at the next question. It says, choose the appropriate conjunctions to complete the sentences. Canada's economy was greatly affected in the 1920s. Past tense is used. Dash the production of goods and by the over expansion of industries. The overproduction of goods and by the over expansion. As the overproduction of goods and by the over, no. Canada's economy was greatly affected in the 1920s due to, because of. So because of is the correct answer here. Because something is affected, we need to tell the reason. What is the reason? Reason will come because of. Because of the overproduction of goods and by the overexpansion of industries. So this is how we can do, the different kinds of exercises. It means that you need to prepare conjunctions, parts of speech. You need to prepare how to make use of tenses, what kind of tenses they can come together, what kind of tenses, okay, when something is in past, the next thing will also be in the past. So these things you need to understand and you need to have a good kind of knowledge about these things. Choose the appropriate options to complete the sentences. Had you told me is a third conditional. Had you told me that this was going to happen, so with third conditional we use would have plus third form of the verb. So it is clear. Clues are there. Try to understand. Read the sentence carefully. So clues, they are telling me had you told is past perfect. In third conditional we use past perfect plus would have plus third form of the verb. So had you told me this was going to happen, I would never have believed it. So option A is the correct answer. If I were in your shoes, if I were in your shoes is the second conditional. If I were you, I would have Ferrari. If I were the Prime Minister of Pakistan, I would make such type of changes in the educational system of Pakistan. Fact of the matter is that I am not the Prime Minister of Pakistan. So this is the second conditional. So if I were in your shoes, you should not be in my shoes. Thank you very much. If I were in your shoes, I think I would speak to her rather than try to explain what has happened. So C option, would speak, is the correct answer. You dash the locksmith to open the door for you last night, past tense, before you tried to open the door yourself. So past tense. Might, must call? No, must is not used in past tense here. Ought to have called, it could be one of the options. Have had to call, it is another option that we could use. And could call, these three options we will have to see. You dashed the locksmith to open the door for you last night. You ought to have called. You ought to have called. You should have called. Ought to is equal to should. You should have called. I am reprimanding you. I am saying that you should have done this thing. Why didn't you call? So you ought to have called the locksmith to open the door for you last night before you tried to open the door yourself. So dear students, I cannot attempt or solve all the paper with you here. Video will become very lengthy and people do not like lengthy videos. So I now move to the next question, that is the last question. Write an essay on any one of the following topics. So these essays usually you have already done in your FA or FSC. Sometimes very simple essay comes, and to my surprise also, okay, students, they have already learned them by heart and they reproduce the essay here, and luckily they get good marks. But what I demand, that you should prepare how to write a good essay. A good essay has got three parts: introduction, body, which can consist of three paragraphs, and conclusion. So usually at your level, an essay should consist of five paragraphs. First is the introduction, second, third, and fourth, they are the body of the essay, and last is the conclusion of the essay. And here we demand 250 to 300 words essay from you. Usually the topics are very easy. Social media, so brainstorm, try to collect some ideas. In social media, we have got Facebook, Twitter, okay, so many things, internet. So you can write so many things on it. Talk about the good points, advantages of social media, and weak points or disadvantages of social media. And then conclude whether, what do you think? Social media is good for the people or not? Conclusion is yours. A city that you like to visit. It should be a city that you would like to visit. So sometimes mistakes are there in the printing. A city that you would like to visit. So think about a city. There are so many cities in Pakistan, and all of them, they have got, advantages and disadvantages. For example, people talk about Lahore. The person who has not seen Lahore has not come to this world, has not born. Okay. Because you can talk about Lahore, you can talk about Peshawar, you can talk about Karachi, or any city of the world that you have good knowledge about. Again, you can talk about its good points, that what it is offering you, what you see over there which is unique, which makes it a different city from the other cities, and what are the issues or problems of that city. So of course, all these cities, because they are resided by the human beings, so they have got advantages as well as disadvantages. Talk about them. Third is importance of tree plantation. So of course, here you are supposed to talk about the importance of planting trees. So trees, they offer us oxygen. They are good for the environment. We feel good among trees. So this is how you can brainstorm. You can collect the ideas. You will have enough time to do all these things. 1 hour is given. Don't panic. So this is how you should attempt. Write good English. Write English which is without mistakes. Last word. When you are attempting the paper, remember, we are looking at grammar and content. So just only content is not looked at. Specifically, we look at the language. how you are making sentences, how you are producing language, whether your language is perfect, average, or below average. If it is below average, admission you cannot secure at NUML. Already thousands of people have, tried. They are trying to get the admission. They have applied. So only those students will get admission who attempt their entrance test well. They prepare these things at home well. So once you have completed the paper, please go through it. Do not hurry and give it back to your invigilator. Please go through the paper. You may find the mistakes that you have committed, they were very, what I should say, simple kind of mistakes that you yourself can correct. And if you can correct those mistakes, you will save yourself from the embarrassment that people feel when they fail the test. I hope I have answered your question. Thank you very much.